It's time to check back in on our seeds, see how our plants are doing, and see how our little tests that we have set up are doing. So if you're new to the channel, just to catch you up, this whole tray closest to you, and we'll be getting some close-ups, is your Burpee seed starting mix, the Cocoa Core. The tray that's closest to me is my mix, that's 1/3 peat moss, 1/3 compost, 1/3 perlite. And then we have the 72 cell seed tray. Spoiler alert, it's doing pretty well. So I can't complain. Hey, it's a win-win for me one way or the other. So let's take a look at how these growing mediums are doing and see if there's really anything starting to stand out. My thought behind these tests was that if you're a new grower, you can follow along and you'll know right about where your seeds should be. It can be really frustrating when you plant some seeds, especially some pepper seeds, and a week goes by and you think you should have something sprouted, but you don't really know. And if you ask questions on Facebook groups, even on YouTube sometimes, you get a lot of sarcastic remarks. And trust me, I remember being there, and some things I haven't grown yet that I'm there with you again. And to a point, every year I start new seeds and I think, man, should they be germinated yet? So for the new grower, follow along and you'll know where your seeds should be week 1, week 2, week 3. For the more experienced grower, I really wanted to see if there was a difference between a Cocoa Core medium and one that's traditionally used by a lot of us. Let's go through and I'll show you some of my takes on it. And yeah, I'll show you the 72 cell tomato tray. Okay, right off the bat, one of the things that I can tell right away, and these two trays have been treated absolutely identical, is your Burpee mix right here for our San Marzanos, planted on the 14th. Same thing, exact same time of the San Marzanos planted in my soil, is the ones that were planted in the soil mix are a lot bigger, a lot thicker stem, and just overall seem healthier. There's your Burpee seed starting mix. There's the common mix that a bunch of us use. So that's just one takeaway. Now, it's not dramatic, and it's not to say that one actually is better than the other. We don't know yet. When you overall look at the onions, let's get down here closer. Not many on the red onions here. We're not getting a good germination rate on those. Now, I did tell you those seeds are at least a couple, if not a few years old. The bunching onions right here on your left are doing good. The Walla Walla from M.I. Gardner, doing good. And the Burpee bunching onions. We've still got more coming up. Almost the same results, I think, in the common soil mix. The red onions, we don't have a very good germination rate, so I think that's seed, not soil. And really, if you look at them side by side, the evergreen bunching, the M.I. Gardner Walla Walla, and the Burpee bunching all seem to be doing about the same. I really can't give it one or the other or see anything different. One thing I do want to point out though is right here on the spinach. Now, I told you in the last video I suck at growing spinach. But if you look at the spinach in the Burpee mix versus the spinach in the soil mix, it looks a lot healthier in the mixed soil. Then if we go over to the Butter Crunch lettuce, I really don't see much of a big deal. It looks like there may have been more of a germination rate, or maybe I just dropped more seeds. I don't know. It almost looks like the leaves are a little lighter green, possibly, in the Burpee mix. Again, nothing definitive, nothing that would make me say one over the other, I don't think. Now, as I was just telling you at the beginning of the video, every year I do it too, and hey, you might too. So just go with it. You wonder how fast they should germinate. You kind of wonder, you forget the date that you put them in, even though you're looking at it on the tag. Our Bright Light Swiss chard right here is looking really good. Mortgage Lifter tomatoes, Ukrainian purple tomatoes, and I've got two. I've got another one coming up right there. 2 Matapinos. Now, I didn't go 1 for 1 on the Bright Light Swiss chard, but I did on the Matapino. I have 3 Matapinos back here. I have 1, and then I have 1 that's just looped that I can barely see. Now, these were just done on the 17th, so we're not very far in. Figure about a week. and here's where your tomatoes should be looking. Now I'm not seeing really any distinguishable difference in the tomatoes or in these tomatoes. I only really see it in the San Marzanos that were planted on the 14th. Now the rest I'm just going to show you so you kind of know about how long things take to germinate. So the Emerald Giant bell pepper, planted on the 17th. There's what we're looking at right now. They're just popping. Same thing with the Golden Cali, but they are popping. My Emerald Giant's back here, about the same. I do have some orange spice jalapenos coming up. And you can see that with the black Krim tomatoes, about the same where they're going to be at. There is my Matapino. I'm hoping to get green and white jalapenos. I love jalapenos. So really going into week 3 now on these tests, I don't have anything definitive. I really don't think I see anything that would make me lean one way or the other. So let's take a look at my nemesis. The 72 cell seed tray that I spent so much time telling you guys that I don't like. Now this doesn't mean that I like them, just so you know, but I am pretty impressed. So here they are. They took off like crazy. One thing I will say, and it's probably not all 72 cell seed trays, but these 72 cell seed trays that I got, they kind of sag in the middle. They sit on the outer rim of these 1020s and they sag down in the middle. I don't like that. Makes it a little bit more difficult keeping them evenly watered. But looking in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5 cells that did not germinate. But I had more seeds. So some of these I put 2 in. Let me show you. So this one over here, that's a double. Here's another double. Here's another double. Now, I saw a video, and I honestly don't even remember who it was from, where they put multiples. We have a double back here. It was another video from a creator that, honestly, I can't remember who I saw it from. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. But they do go through and double and triple plant these little 72 cell seed trays because tomatoes are inherently easy to get apart, to get their roots apart, and it doesn't really stress the plant bad. So then they go through and they separate them. My thought is if you're doing 72 anyway, yeah, do you really need more per tray? I guess for some, but for me, 72 is enough. I did have some extra seeds, and I went through and did doubles those, so the doubles will take up for the 5 cells that didn't germinate. But out of 72, we've got 5 cells that didn't germinate. That's a lot of tomato plants. So hopefully you like little experiments like this. I'll keep doing them. At the end of the most current video, like the one you're watching right now, I'll link back to the first one that we planted in, and then work at the end of each video, link the next one in the chain. That way it's really easy to follow along. But like I said, you don't have to be experienced to be following along with this. The ones who are experienced, maybe they'll get some knowledge on, is there really a difference between coco coir and peat moss? So far, not really. People who are just getting into this, I hope it helps you know where in your germination and your growing journey that you should be at to help reduce some of that anxiety about my seeds aren't sprouted yet. Trust me, I know the pain. I'll see you back here, same time, same channel, next week, and we'll see if we see any notable differences then.